Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. Federal High Court in Lagos strikes out suit against 7 banks accused of withholding funds meant for the Treasury single account. Socio-Economic and Accountability Project accuses 3 past administrations of squandering 11 trillion naira on power projects between 1999 and 2017. Authorities at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital and the Lagos State Government allay fears over Lassa fever, says situation is under control. And Kenya's main opposition candidate Raila Odinga disputes outcome of yesterday's presidential election, says Election Commission's computers hacked to favor incumbents. Top stories and others, please visit our website channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also watch us on the go on your mobile device. Log on to m.channelstv.com or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from the respective stores. Having the Channels TV and Channels 24 apps will give you access to news and updates. You also have the Eyewitness feature, so you too can be part of the news. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu. Follow the instructions to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Well, here comes some of the pictures that you sent in. Let's begin with this image showing one from Giri Junction in Abuja, showing this illegal dump site. According to our Eyewitness reporter, this bad site is located at the entrance of the Federal Capital Territory. He wants relevant government agencies to clear this and discourage such indiscriminate dumping. Next is this one from Benin Bypass Expressway in Edo State, showing a gridlock, which our Eyewitness reporter says is due to the bad shape of the road. He wants the road repaired to end the hardship motorists go through. Still on roads is this image from Atikele Street in Agbo, Delta State, showing this gully. Our Eyewitness reporter who sent this said it poses a great danger to residents and is calling on the state government to attend to it before the impact becomes more catastrophic. Finally is this image from in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. It's showing a fallen container. This, according to our Eyewitness reporter, poses great danger to motorists and wants it removed. Many thanks for sending in these pictures, and we ask that you keep them coming. A group of protesters demanding details of the president's health have gathered for a 3rd day of their sit-out at the Unity Fountain in Abuja. Members of civil society organizations under the umbrella of Concerned Citizens say they remain adamant in their demand for the return of the president or his resignation. Members who converged on the venue of their protest as early as 9 a.m. this morning condemned the attacks on them yesterday by security agencies.
It's day 3 of the protest organized by a coalition of over 10 civil society organizations who have a common objective, and in particular, a demand to know the health status of the president and to ascertain if he is fit to govern the affairs of the nation. President Muhammad Buhari left for London on May the 7th, 2017 to seek medical attention, and his extended absence, which is now over 90 days, has generated much debate. In comparison to the 2nd day's protest, which was marred by allegations of attacks by security personnel, as well as the use of tear gas and water cannons, the 3rd day sees the protesters warmly received by police officers who were on ground to protect them. This, however, did not change their requests.
This government has not provided answers to the questions we have been raising. Instead, they have insulted us and told us that we don't have the right to ask questions and that we are miscreants and criminal elements. Again, seeking for relevance. That's what they said we are seeking for. Like us, again, the government has said that the president is a private citizen and does not owe Nigerians any explanation whatsoever. Well, it's only in Nigeria that you find a country where Nigeria is the only country in the world where the president will abscond from duty for 94 days, and the same government will send its aides to insult us.
The youth are encouraged to make a stand and join the demonstrators in their call.
I want to be able to ginger the youth for them to know and understand that they are, unless they are part of nation building, that they don't have a future in this country. That's my motivation.
It's not about one person. It's about this country. And Nigeria must work in our lifetime. Yes. Enough is enough.
President Buhari has now been out of the country for over 90 days. And though many argue there has been no constitutional breach, these protesters insist his absence has affected the day-to-day running of government, and therefore they will continue to insist on his return or ultimately his resignation.
The Federal Executive Council has approved the refinancing of $3 billion worth of Treasury bills as part of efforts to restructuring the nation's debt profile. This is part of the outcome of the Council meeting at the Presidential Villa, presided over by the acting President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. The Minister of Finance told State House correspondents after the meeting that government is taking dollar-denominated loans to refinancing our debt on the international market from naira into dollars. The Minister of Budget and Planning also announced the federal government's projection of 2.3 million barrels per day for 2018.
As usual, the Federal Executive Council weekly meeting commenced with the arrival of the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. After the closed-door meeting, the Minister of Finance told State House correspondents that the government is trying to reduce the cost of borrowing, not by dollarizing the economy, but by refinancing up to $3 billion worth of Treasury bills.
As Nigerian government Treasury bills mature, instead of rolling them over, which is what we've been doing, we are now going to pay them off by the proceeds of dollar-denominated bonds, which will be issued. And those bonds are 3-year bonds, whereas the Treasury bills on average are 91 to 364 days. So we're taking short money and refinancing it long. Why? Because every time we roll over, if you borrow with interest and you don't pay back, you roll over, you capitalize the interest, you're actually just increasing your debt. What we're saying is, in the long run, because we're coming into recovery, we need a little bit more time to pay. So instead of saying, okay, we'll pay you back in 91 days, we're saying, let's be realistic, we need 2 to 3 years to pay off this money. So we're taking a dollar-denominated loan, which is cheaper than the naira loan, and we're refinancing the Treasury bills. We're not dollarizing our economy in any way.
Nigerians should also look forward to a crude oil projection of $2.3 million per barrel at an exchange rate of 305 naira in 2018. The Minister of Budget and National Planning announced this projection as part of highlights in the approved 2017 to 2020 medium-term expenditure framework.
In terms of crude oil production, our estimate projection for next year is 2.3 million barrels per day. We expect it to be broken down as 1.8 million barrels per day regular crude, and then 500,000 barrels a day in terms of condensate. And the price that we've projected for next year is $45.
So far, the federal government has released a total of 1.3 trillion naira as capital project from the 2017 budget. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Well, let's go over to our Abuja studios where Gloria is standing by with more stories. Hello, Gloria.
Hello, Millicent. Nigeria's main opposition party appears to be in a pensive mood, but in spite of that, the party says it is poised to take over power at the federal level in 2019. The chairman of the 2017 PDP Special Non-Elective National Convention and Governor of Delta State, Ifeanyi Okowa, stated this at the meeting of the Convention Planning Committee, which held at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja. He admitted that the party has realized its shortcomings, but has resolved to make corrections and provide Nigerians with good governance.
We hope that by Saturday we'll have very good stories to tell to the public, because PDP has come alive, PDP will stay alive, and PDP has to send a message on Saturday the 12th of August, a a very strong message that will make Nigerians realize that we are truly prepared to take over power in 2019. We are confident on our own that though the days are short, that because we are an organized party, we will definitely be able to deliver a convention that we will be proud of as a party. I am trusting in the ability of our leaders, the chairmen and secretaries of all the subcommittees, that we will be able to do a good work. Our success will be that first strong message that we sent out to the public. I know that there will be no failure on our part.
For Nigerians desirous of increased access to internet and broadband services in the country, their expectations may be realized in 2 or 3 years. Well, this hint was dropped by the Minister of Communications, Mr. Adebayo Shitu, who is optimistic that this will be achieved through effective implementation of the ICT Development Blueprint and National Broadband Plan. He was speaking at the 2017 Smart Cities Nigeria Summit, where he called for a well-thought-out, purpose-driven and well-articulated effort for the proposed Nigeria Smart Cities project.
Heavy traffic is one of the main challenges for large cities in Nigeria, including Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt and Abuja. Urbanization continues to be a growing threat to the efficiency of these cities. This is where the Smart City Initiative comes in. It aims at leveraging technological solutions to improve the efficiency of cities. According to the International Telecommunication Union, 18 African countries are backing the initiative, and more nations, including Nigeria, are expected to join. This summit is one of the steps Nigeria has taken to integrate ICT and the internet into the management of the city's assets, such as education, health and infrastructure.
This does not mean building only new smart cities. It also means making our existing cities and villages more efficient and more effective by leveraging on ICTs at our disposal. Better said, doing simple things the smart way.
It is therefore expected that the forum will promote better understanding of the enormous potentials in the Smart City Initiative towards job creation, crime prevention and control, alternative energy, intelligent transportation, automated homes and cities, e-government, e-health, and the diversification of our national economy.
According to the Ministry of Communication, 50% of the nation's population reside in urban cities. And it's predicted that the urban population will hit the 65% mark by the year 2020. Experts believe this will put pressure on public utilities.
The rate at which cities are growing is astronomical. For instance, Abuja as a city is now being reputed to be one of the fastest growing cities in Africa, if not the world, at the rate of 20% annually. For us as city managers, this poses great challenges to us.
The digital revolution which underlies the smart city concept has considerable potential to transform urban services and approaches to city governance. And therefore, for any smart city initiative to be successful, it's crucial that it's a well-planned and thought-out process.
When the news at 10 returns, Nigeria's forex reserves rise to 2-year high at 31.22 billion naira this week. Well, that's in business news. Let's join us again.